Your cap, I chief. I use my baby. My girl will play. Don't mess up, my girl will play. White goat. Don't go see white goat. You don't go see white goat. Don't go see white goat. 50 what? 50 years white goat. I beg, just kill me. 50 years white goat. Thank you. Oh yeah, let me go back. Please return the cap and put. Hey, come. Are you from what chief cap? Huh? Come, let me return my new hand. No, I use my hand. Return.
All right, welcome back to the show. Yes, talking about Daybreak Extra. If you're just tuning in, you're still watching Daybreak Extra on Trust TV. And right now we have an MC, on the show with us, and his name is MC Mitty. Good morning, MC Mitty, and he's also a comedian, by the way. It must be quite, should I say, hectic, combining both, being a comedian and also an MC. Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so talking about being an MC and a comedian, I know most ceremonies these days, especially wedding ceremonies, they require you to make them laugh. In as much as you're an MC, and in most cases, you even have some who choose a struggle. Some who are just strictly MCs, some who are strictly comedians. But what is it about combining both? How has it been? How has that pushed you ahead of others who only have one struggle?
Okay, thank you very much. When you have a talent, and then you have you train yourself for something. I feel I have it in me to be funny, so I don't have to struggle to make people laugh most times. So I just I don't see it as a big deal when I have to combine the two. If my client wants something corporate, they just want me to do something, just an MC, just be an MC for us, just make this event go well. We don't want too much comedy. I don't see it as a big thing. I just do it like that because I have this. I did masters in human resource management.
Okay.
So. I'm able to really blend without having an issue with it. Okay. And then, like you said, some people, they just want you to just go all out, let's have fun. And like the clip we just showed down, they just want to have fun, they just want to laugh, they just want to. So I don't see it, I see it as an edge of my colleagues there, and I enjoy it. I don't.
So what about do you do stand-up?
Yes, I do stand-up.
Okay.
I do stand-up.
So which one do you prefer, actually, when you're talking about these two things?
Yeah.
Do you love being an MC more than you love being a comedian? Or which one? Which one comes first?
Okay. I think I would say I love being an MC. Yes, I do stand-up. I host a show. I've been hosting my show for the past, this last year, made it 5 years, right? The last edition was in Sheraton Hotel. I host shows, so I do stand up. But when I'm with an audience that is lively, I come alive. I just most times in church, when I'm in church, when I'm in like at a wedding ceremony, when I'm in, I just come alive. So I think I enjoy being an MC more than being a stand-up comedian.
Okay. So you actually mentioned earlier that you have a master's in human resources.
Yes.
Normally someone with such a degree, you think they work in a big corporate organization. So is it the Nigerian factor? Is that the reason why you're an MC?
Okay. You know, this company is a big corporate organization.
The comedy industry.
Yeah. It's not because I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not. When I go for an event and I hear the MC say, I actually studied this, but because of frustration, I discover my talent. I feel that's a wrong statement. That's a wrong statement. This is an industry. This is a business. This is big business. And until you take hold of what you do, even if you wash the toilet, until you take hold of what you do, that thing will be play to you. As much as I make people laugh, as much as I joke, this is not a joke. This is a big business. This is an industry for me. So when I discovered my talent that I could do this, I decided to acquire more knowledge. That's why I did my master's. Okay. So that when I stand, I've done some big corporate events for TED Fund, for NAFDAC. I've even done events outside this country for an organization like that. So for church too. So I had to go equip myself so that when I stand before people, I can talk to you and you will listen.
So it works hand in hand.
Yes, so it works hand in hand. It's not about the country. There are no jobs. No.
But is it comedy that actually sustains you, or do you have a part-time job? Because most comedians that I know actually work both ways. They have different streams of income.
Okay, so I used to have a farm. While I was doing during my university days, I had a farm. This COVID affected the farm really. I used to have a farm. We were producing up to 10,000 tubers of yams, more than 10,000 tubers of yams. So then this insecurity issue also, when I got married, I couldn't continue because of the insecurity. But so far, I think comedy and the show business have been doing a great job for me, and that's what I do for now.
All right, so we talked about how people get into doing these things. Some people say it's because it wasn't what they wanted to do. They just found themselves doing it. So what was your case? Did you just wake up one morning and realize that you were funny and this was exactly what you wanted to do? Or did you have to go to train yourself to say, okay, fine, I want to be an MC, and then you followed that path through? Was it a deliberate thing for you?
Okay, I wouldn't say it was a deliberate thing. Like I've always had it in my mind that when I grow up, I'm gonna stand and make people laugh. No, I grew into it like while I was in the university, doing this 9Fest events and all these drama shows, and I discovered that I play some roles in the drama and I'm good at it, and people are just laughing, and I'm like, okay, these lines I just used here. And the first time I stood in front of people to do stand-up, it was in a 9Fest drama night, where we just finished one play and there was this space. Nothing was happening, and people were just like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? So the director just pushed me to the stage and said, say something. And that was when I started, and I made them laugh, and I felt, okay, this is good. So, and whatever you discover you can do, you just try to work on it. So I just started working on it. And I saw I'm getting better. Then I decided to give it attention, and I focused on it. So that's how.
Okay, so as a comedian, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
Taking away depression. That's my greatest achievement, especially in this country. People are depressed in this country. People are depressed. So for me to stand in front of a depressed crowd and make them laugh is my greatest achievement. Some Some politicians have not achieved that in 4 years. Their constituency are not laughing.
Even 8 years.
Even 8 years.
Exactly, 8 years.
Some people have not achieved that in 8 years. Some people have not made people laugh in 8 years. So if I can stand before you and you give me 3 minutes and I make you laugh, that's my greatest achievement in life.
Okay. So what about your greatest disappointment?
When I don't make you laugh.
Okay. All right. I think he passed that one.
So there's this comedians now.
Yeah.
Yeah. With COVID and everything moving online and whatnot, most people have transitioned to doing skits.
So
Skits.
okay.
Yes, videos and posting them online and whatnot. So a lot of people are not paying more attention to the traditional stand-up comedy that we actually know. So what is your take on that? Do you have do you do skits? Do you have plans to start doing skits? What is your take on skits?
Like I told you, I started off comedy while I was acting drama. So it's just like I've been doing skits before I started doing comedy. So I still do skits. Like if you check my Facebook, my Instagram at MCMiti, you see some skits I do. I do this Brother Hebrew character, and I do skits, and it's good. I love it.
So how challenging has it been being a comedian? And you're based in Abuja, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how challenging has it been? Because most people actually believe for you to make it in the entertainment industry, you have to be in a certain part of the country. I always ask this question. You have to be in a certain part of the country. So how challenging has it been being in Abuja and not
in Lagos?
Yes.
I wanted to say Lagos.
No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
No, see, I believe, I'm a Christian, I believe that there is a place for you. You struggle when you are in the wrong place, even if that place is US. If it's the wrong place for you, you struggle. It's just like when you plant things. There are some that you just plant and they just do well. So I believe when you are in the right place, even if you're in the bush and that's the right place, you do well. There are some people that you started hearing their name from where they were, and they made name from there and they came to where you are and they even overshadowed. So I believe, I don't see Abuja as a big challenge. It's good. I started off here and I'm doing my work here and I feel I'm growing. Life is all about process. So I'm just going through the process. I'm getting better by the day. I like this place, and if I'm going to leave this place, I should have conquered this place. Okay. So I think life is all about process. I'm still in the process, and people that are doing well in Lagos or wherever they are, I think they are good also. And there are people doing well also here. And so I don't think you need to leave where you are to go where someone else is making it. You may get there and you'll still not make it. So.
All right, so how do you handle an audience that is unresponsive? Because you have them a lot, especially in Abuja.
Yes.
They're not moved by anything. So how do you handle such audience?
Okay, now this is where being a professional comes in. Now, when you give me an event, I want to talk with you. I want us to interact before that event, so that I know your kind of person. I want to meet with the couple. I want to know them, know their kind of friends, so that I would know what I'm anticipating, what I should anticipate. You understand? Then I want, when I get to the event, if some like an event like that, like a corporate event that I can't see them before that day, I go on time, so that when people are coming in, I can read the atmosphere. And if I've already done my first gig and I see that the place is, then I go back. And there must be a breaking point in every event. There is always a breaking point. Like the one I did for this organization, I think National Blood Transfusion, something, National Blood Transfusion Service. Yeah, I think they've changed it to a commission now. The first, I just sat down and I monitored and I saw that the people here, they are just, So I had to look for I think one of the directors said something, just that word, and I started from that point. And before I could even finish, I got a standing ovation that day. So I think that's where you have to read. That's why you have to be, vast in, so that you can calculate, and you also know when to step out. If you see that, you don't force them. You see that they're not, it's not working, just step out. If you can come back, like I told you, it's men I don't make you laugh. So you mustn't win every day. If you don't win today, you win tomorrow.
But when you don't make them laugh in that, has that ever, weighed you down? Situation. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt you didn't, achieve what you're supposed to, in that moment? And how did you handle that?
Of course. I've been in that situation. If I say I've not been in that situation, that is a lie. I've been in that situation, and I go back and check what did I didn't say, what did I do that I was not supposed to do. Yes, and you calculate it, and you just get prepared for the next one.
Next time.
So you get better. So that's just it.
So what inspires you as a comedian? Where do you get your inspiration from? Like the jokes that you do?
From the Bible, when I watch people talk, from my parents, from my son. Sometimes he just does, just see him do some things, and I'm like, okay, this can go in. From everything around me, from my day-to-day life, whatever I do, I just, then from this country, because this country,
lots of material.
Yeah, in fact, if you put this country on Netflix, you would laugh. This country, it's just like
the most watched.
Yes, it's just like how can you tell us that snakes swallow money? No, this is just comedy on its own. This country is like a stand-up comedy.
So let's take an example of a wedding now.
Yes.
Like when you go for weddings, who is the most important person for you to please?
The bride and the groom. Yes. So when we go to weddings and the chairman say, we are leaving here in 5 minutes. I will ask the bride and the groom, do you want us to leave here in 5 minutes? Because they've been preparing for that day for all their life. They've been preparing for that day. So you can't just come and say, we are leaving here in 5 minutes. They're not planning for any other wedding in their life. They're not planning for any other, are you planning any other wedding for them? This is the only wedding they'll have in their entire life. So we can't leave here in 5 minutes, my brother. So I asked the bride and the groom, what do you want in your wedding? We sit, we talk. If they want to leave their reception in 5 minutes, no problem, we'll do it. If they want to do it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, till dawn, we're ready. So bride and the groom, they're the most important person in the wedding. If they delegate that authority to the chairman or to their parents, fine, but they are the most important.
So do you consider yourself as an MC/comedian or as an entertainer? Because you did talk about a little bit of acting back in the days. Yes. So do you still dabble?
Yeah, I think I consider myself as an entertainer. I entertain. So, because I sing also.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, I sing. So I sing in church.
At your events, what about your events? Do you sing? Do you include that?
I sing. No, I don't sing. I don't sing in my events. It's a comedy show. The comedy show. So just make people laugh, bring other comedians. So I consider myself an entertainer. I just entertain. And if you want me to sing, if you want me to make you laugh, if you want me to, I just entertain you.
So I was supposed to ask this a bit earlier. For how long have you been doing this?
I think since my 100 level, that should be 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's quite a long time.
Journey.
All right, now to my favorite question. How lucrative has it actually been?
You said?
How
Talking
lucrative
about the
has
moolah.
it been?
Okay. Okay, that's... so, to answer that question, I'm married.
Okay.
And I'm married to a Delta lady. a doctor, optometrist. So I'm married with it.
Okay.
So that should explain how lucrative it is. And we have a son. Next month he'll be 1 year.
That's nice.
And he's been feeding on Aptamil.
Which costs a lot.
Yes. And you know how much Aptamil is? Man, Aptamil, they said when it should finish in 4 weeks, right? After opening. Yeah, so we have a lot of Aptamil that are empty.
Okay.
So that should tell you how lucrative it is. And he wears clothes.
Yes.
And I drive a car. And I fuel it.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Exactly.
And I have a gen. And I fuel it. And I have service charge. And we know how the prepaid meter is right now. And most importantly, I live in Nigeria and I've not committed suicide and I'm not depressed. I think that should tell you how lucrative this business is.
Okay, but then talking about the comedy industry,
Yes.
is it as competitive as the music industry? And how do you handle competition?
I think I would have to be in the music industry very well to compare. But for this, I think this industry is very competitive. I don't know how it is in the music industry because I'm not doing the music like professionally. But I think it's competitive here because you want to get an audience. You want to get people that like your content. And these people already have people that they like their content. You want to get clients that already have MCs that they call anytime. Like I have different clients that used to have big MCs that, of course, I'm still growing. So I have some ogas, but they decided to try me. And for them to call me to try me, it means I've pushed myself, and they feel like, oh, okay, let's try this guy. And ever since, they've been using me. So it's competitive. You want to show yourself. You want to make an impression in the industry, so that when you are called up once, no one else will be called up again. So I think it's competitive, very, very competitive.
Okay, but what about your original, pieces?
Okay.
How do you feel when someone, does your original pieces?
It's good.
Without your permission?
Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's my joke, but
you just move on.
You just move on. Because when I was coming up, I still use people's joke. So that's my joke. I just move on. And so but it's not but when it's original, it's original. So when I say reported speech, it's reported speech. When it's original, I can say one joke and act it out in different ways. And you can just repeat that my joke and just act it out. That's the way you saw me do it. So I think original is original.
Okay. Well, I just want to touch on the competition thing that we just talked about. So is how is it in the industry? Is it like is it like a dog eat dog kind of thing, or do you guys like rally around each other, help each other, support each other in ways that you can, or is it all man for himself kind of thing?
We rally around each other sometimes, and I think you just have your clique, you just have your friends, just like when you have your friends, like when you're wedding and you have a shebi, you have men in suits. I think that's how it is. So you have your clique, you have people around you when you are doing your show. You have people that will come around you. You have people you pay. You have people that will just come and they don't want to be paid. They just want to be around you. They just want to do it for you. So I think it's not. We're not bringing anybody down to climb up, but you always have people with that mentality. So yours is just to do your thing and just get people around you that support you and you also support, so that when you need help, they're around. When they need help, you're around, and you just help yourselves to build. So that's what I think.
Okay, so what advice do you have for those who are up and coming? in the industry?
Okay. I think the sky is too big. So, and social media has made everything so easy now. So you can just sit in your house and you'll be known worldwide. So just keep doing what you do. Just do it. Wizkid is doing O2 Arena today. He started somewhere, and I think it was I think it was Kanye West that said that if you have people that listen to your song, if you have people that play your music, that comes to your show, then you don't need the Grammys because you already have the Grammys. So if you have one person that can view your content, just one person that can view your content, and you post another content and that one person views it, you are making progress. You don't have to have 1 million views before you tick yourself that you are making progress. Many people have died in depression because of that. If you have one person view your content today, tomorrow 2, even if it comes back to 1, do another content. Just keep doing content. Just do what you do. Just be you. People will like you for just that originality. And just continue. And one day, with God, all things are possible.
All right, so in your pictures, it actually looks like you model as well.
Yes.
So do you know
Yeah.
what we asked you this question? What
No,
other things do you
No, I am a brand ambassador for TJ Big Spoke.
Okay.
So it's a clothing line.
Okay.
So they do wears.
And you
they-
get
They
paid.
did this.
You get paid.
Yes,
for
of course.
it. Of
So-
course. So it's another stream of income now.
So like this, they did this. So they do good wear. So I model for them.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay.
Background.
All right. I think these are, all the questions that we, have for you today. But thank you so much for joining us on the show, MC Mitty. Before we go, what does Mitty mean?
Mitty.
Yes. Where did you get the name?
And
What does it mean?
that's my name. That's my grandfather's name actually.
Mitty?
Yeah. I just told me that in those days they just give name anyhow. There was I was asking them, is it that they gave birth to my grandfather when they were having a meeting? Or he was going for a meeting? What's the meeting all about? They told me, don't worry, I should just change it and say it's a meeting of great people. So anytime they ask me, I say it's a meeting
So
of great
that's
people.
meaning.
But in me, I know that I don't really know the meaning of the meeting, but we are just meeting.
It sounds like a Biram name.
Bira?
Biram.
Birom? No, na Delta name. Which Birom? Your name Birom. Na bureaugraphy. Na Delta name.
All right, thank you so much, MC Mitty, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
All right. With that, we'll take a quick break as usual, and then when we come back, we have more guests.